We're about to go through a full Series 5 tier list based purely on power and meta relevance at the end of the January 2026 season. No archetype unlock arguments, no new player caveats, just how strong these cards actually are right now and whether or not they're worth your resources. Let's dive into the full tier list. Hey, what's up everybody? Kicker of Elves here. Hope y'all are having a fantastic day today. It's been quite some time since we sat down and done this, and with a new season coming out just a few hours after this video goes live, I think it is a good time for us to look at a tier list of all these Series 4 and 5 cards in Marvel Snap. Now, I'll be tiering these based on their strength in the current Marvel Snap metagame at the end of January 2026, so you can understand which card should I pick up if I want to have the most power in my collection. This is not looking at fun or if you're a new player. Maybe I'll mention that throughout, but this is purely looking at the power level of these cards in the current metagame. So if you're looking for your next purchase or just curious in general, this will be a great guiding principle to make sure you can maximize the value of your ever so precious collector's tokens. Now, let's go for a quick rundown of what these tiers mean generally. So S is going to be the very best of the best, the absolute top tier cards in the game. They are a key piece in the best possible decks out there, absolutely invaluable for your collection and for power level. A is going to be a step down from that. They're still very strong. Maybe they're not the absolute best cards in those decks, but still incredibly powerful. Maybe they have some versatility to them. B is going to be a good card. It probably shows up, but isn't the absolute linchpin of the meta, could be replaceable. C is where we start getting onto like the lower side of mid, where it's like, you could play this. Like if you're really into this sort of card, sure, go for it. D is going to be a bad card, just card that you shouldn't be building around. F is going to be absolutely unavoidably awful, just cards you should avoid at all costs. So without further ado, let's start with Adamantium Infusion. Adamantium Infusion is a B tier card. I'm going to, at least for the start here, I'm going to start ordering these out and try to keep a rough order within tiers. So the bottom of B is going to be, worse than the top of B sort of thing. And this card's actually seeing a lot of play right now with the Man Spider list that Smiles over at Snap Academy YouTube cooked up, where you're closing out with Fastball Special Adamantium Infusion. It doesn't have a lot of application, but Fastball Special has made it come up. So it comes and goes, it ebbs and flows the metagame. I think maybe as we go along, this could be the bottom of A tier, but it doesn't have a ton of decks. The deck that it is good in is really only relevant when there's not a ton of tech right now. And with the recent nerfs to the Shloud package, cards like Shadow King could be getting an uptick here. So I think top of B tier is pretty fine for Adamantium Infusion out of the gate right now. Next, let's talk about my boy Agamotto here. Agamotto is like a C tier card, maybe very bottom of B. He's fine. 34 card Monty hasn't been extremely relevant, so he kind of just clogs your deck, honestly, and screws with your draws. Like, there was a time when this card was incredible and making like 4 Galactas or Gwenpools was incredible, but it's just not his time. I still quite like Agamotto very much, though. Agent Venom is also a C tier card, maybe D. I'm going to put him in C tier right now. You can do his sort of like Bast, hit your Iron Man Mystique sort of thing, but it's just not incredible right now. At a 2-5, it's a good stat line, but there are much better build arounds. Ajax, D tier card. Afflict is in a very, very, very poor position right now, and I don't know if this is a deck we want to give some love to. I think it's kind of like a lockdown style card space where it's like maybe this isn't something we should have be very good in the meta whatsoever. So Ajax just isn't big enough to matter. Eliath is a low C tier card right now. Juggernaut just does its job better. Ramp decks, like its value is in that fact that it's a surprise card, but it doesn't hit skills. It doesn't flow with just a lot of what the meta wants to be doing right now, and that's honestly a good thing. This is not a fun card. Maybe this goes even in D tier. I've not seen a lot of Eliath. Ancient One, this is a C tier card. It's better than Agent Venom. Better than Agamotto right now. There's some cool experimentation going on with like Rorum's list where you're using Linlea and Hydra Stomper. There's not a ton of stuff you can do with Ancient One, but there is at least one meta-relevant deck right now. We're still very early on post the nerf to Shloud right now, so who's to say if that's going to be absolutely top of the tier, but it's better than all these other cards right now. Anti-Venom, that's an easy A tier card. Anti-Venom is phenomenal in decks like any Man Spider list is going to really enjoy having Anti-Venom because you can just make a 0-cost Taskmaster, 0-cost Man Spider, even like a 0-cost Fang Foom is worth it in a lot of cases. Anti-Venom, you can play him in ongoing lists to get stuff like that where you just care about the text on the card and not so much the power of it. Anti-Venom is just very versatile. The decks that it goes in love to have him. It's a nice wink to Mr. Negative. Anti-Venom is super worth it. Aranya is at the top of C tier. There's just better ways to move your cards. I think the free options in the form of Ghost Spider and Iron Fist kind of do this card's job. I guess the fact that this is like a set it and forget it sort of card is pretty cool because you can just play it and then it doesn't really matter about your exact turn order. You play this out on one and then you can move something later, but the kinds of movement we're doing right now doesn't really call for Aranya. Ares, D tier card. Probably wants to put this in F. This card is not great. We are not in a Surtur meta. We are not in like the decks where we want to pack a bunch of big guys like Ramp don't have the space for Ares. Ramp needs cards to get rid of the downsides from Luna Snow or Electro and needs payoff. We don't have this sort of in-between Surtur, Sauron sort of game plan right now, and missing on Ares feels horrible. Arisham's like a B tier card right now. It is kind of the reactive tech deck du jour right now. But it is not incredible. As people are starting to figure out, okay, Shloud is nerfed. What does that mean for the meta? What can we do that we couldn't do before? What does this open up for us? There might be more for Arisham. I enjoy playing Arisham. I enjoy playing 34 card Monty in limited time modes like Sanctum, which is still going on at the time of me recording this, but it's not phenomenal. If this was a list of like cards for new players, this is probably number one though, and it's still pretty good at that. Aurora is like a C tier card. It's a C tier card. Safety Blade made some incredible cooks at this. I just think as a 6-cost payoff card, it asks you to build your deck in certain ways, and it's pretty cool. But it kind of, the decks are expensive. They're not at the actual top of the metagame. And like other than like some specific high-ranking players like Safety Blade, who is a brilliant player and deck builder, there just hasn't been a lot for Aurora. There are better things to do. Baron Zemo is like the bottom of D. Maybe he's F. Like this is an F tier card. There's nothing to be. Mill is not a real deck. There's nothing to be doing with this guy right now. Yes, everybody's playing good stuff, but like I don't know. The flavor's cool on this. Maybe this is a card that can deserve a reworking. Bastion. I'll throw Bastion at the top of C tier here. Cerebro 3 is not really in a great spot. The like Linley copy decks with Victoria hand like Bastion. There are a few meta lists here, or like meta adjacent lists right now, but Bastion is not a fundamental piece of any of them. Black Swan, that's another F tier card. If it was me just like enjoyment, I'd say probably in D tier, because some of those like the list that Derek put out at the end of December where it was like a werewolf tech deck where you had Black Swan, you put off a bunch of extra skills and stuff at the end of the game with Prowler stuff. Pretty cool, but realistically there's nothing good to be doing with Black Swan. Blink's top of A tier. I know some folks think Blink is even stronger. Maybe she's deserving of S tier, but she's great. She's wonderful in ramp. I do think a lot of the times like her getting rid of a card that if Luna Snow and Electro had lower power, Blink's probably S tier, but sometimes I'm just like, I would rather play a War Machine here because the 3/5 or the 3/6 from those cards honestly isn't that bad. And like, maybe I don't want to like pull out into my Legion right now. Like I've got my good 6 drops or my Fang Foom in hand. So that's me starting to complain about why Blink maybe is an S tier. We'll see as we go here. But Blink is incredible. You need her for ramp. She's great in Hela. She lives in Fear of Stardust, but that's kind of the only thing. Blink is excellent. Bruce Banner, that's an F tier card. This is horrible. Lockheed is better than Bruce Banner. yeah, don't get this card. It got a 2 power buff, but it is just RNG on top of RNG. The flavor's great, but if you want to do end of turn stuff, you're super into that Invisible Woman first steps list, then just get Lockheed instead. Do not get Bruce Banner. Bullseye's like D tier. You just put him at the top of D right now. That's that kind of discard list, unless you're super popping off, really doesn't do anything. Like Dakin doubling and Dakin's not in the strongest spot. It is not what you need to be doing right now. Don't worry about doing Bullseye stuff. If you're trying to invest in discard, the more traditional like Colonel America, who just got buffed, like Apocalypse, Khonshu, Weapon H stuff, that is the better direction to be going in. Kyra, that's another F tier card. Let's put her at the bottom of F tier. Zoo's just not in a strong place. Even when we're running Zoo in like Sanctum, we just aren't living in fear of Killmonger, because Destroy is not great. Protecting your 6-cost cards is irrelevant with Shang-Chi being out of the metagame. You just never want to be playing Kyra. Really bad card. Captain Carter, we're going to put her in A tier. She's excellent in ongoing lists, excellent in some of the Surfer lists, excellent in some of the Surfer lists, or Activate Surfer style stuff. There's a bunch of different cards that benefit her. Captain Carter is almost a linchpin card of a variety of decks. Huge power spike if you can get her. Love Captain Carter. Cassandra Nova is like a D tier card. I would rather play Cassandra Nova than all of these cards. There's not a lot of Darkhawk. There's not a lot of Thanos or Arishem running around, but like playing her out on turn 3, it's still a 3/6. Normally that's pretty good. She doesn't hit skills though. If Arishem or Thanos stuff ever takes off again, she'll be better, but she's just not great right now. Chamber's an A tier card. Chamber is what makes ramp a real thing. Being able to turn your clunky draws where you've got 4 or 5 plus cost cards in hand on turn 1, you're cursing out, being like, this never works, this is rough, blah, blah. Then you draw Chamber and you're like, I've got a 2/11. I feel great right now. I love ramp. Without Chamber, the ramp deck as we know it wouldn't be around, and Chamber is a very crucial part of that. Cosmic Ghost Rider, it's like I want him to be a B, but cards like Deafening Chord and even like Red Guardian to an extent just do his job better. I think this guy could use a point of power back. As a 5 cost, it just doesn't offer enough payoff for his cost and his power right now. Clea's kind of having a moment, so I'll put her in the C tier right now. You can do the Werewolf by Night, Joaquin Torres spell slinging sort of stuff. Shang-Chi, Master of the Rings, and Clea are best friends, but it's just there's typically, even at a 1/3 stat line now, there's just probably better, in the grand scheme of all the decks out there, there's better stuff to be doing. Colonel America is, C for Colonel America. I'd rather be playing Colonel America discard than like Agamotto, Agent Bennett, Elias stuff, certainly. But yeah, I think the problem with the dependable discard Colonel America, Zombie Power Man, Khonshu stuff is you're a mid-range points package at the end of the day, but you just can't afford to run tech. You are just points. And if there's stuff that's going over the top of you, you're just kind of like, well, they played Man Spider, guess I lose, but this is still a perfectly legitimate way to play Marvel Snap. It's just not at its apex right now. Copycat is like a B or a C tier card. Everyone's in the wake of Shloud not being extremely strong anymore. This card is not doing it's not the best. When it was just Shloud mirrors, you can just be like, I'm going to play Copycat and maybe I'll steal their Shloud or Scrowit Spider. But that is not the meta we're in right now. This is just an okay card. We are not in a tempo meta. We're in a meta where it's like Shloud is still trying to be figured out. Man Spider stuff is good. We're getting reactive tech back. It's just not the time for Copycat, but she is still a fine card. Deafening Chord, A tier. Deafening Chord stuff is top of A tier, even without the Afflict, just being able to shut off. I mean, look at even just the cards we've listed here. Shutting off Chamber, shutting off Captain Carter, shutting off Merlin, Madam Web. There's so many cards that Deafening Chord just gets to free roll. They're Morbius. It's even without the Afflict, this card is patently insane. Diamondback. D for Diamondback. It's better than Ajax, but Toxic is just not great right now. Yeah, she's a more efficient lane crusher, but you do not want to be playing Afflict right now. So you don't want to be playing Diamondback or Ajax. Doom 29.9, it's a 4/6. I think we'll have to wait and see what Moondragon does, but this is an F tier card. This is horrible. This just, the nerf they did to Doom 2099, this like build around stuff is just, it made it irrelevant, and it will take a lot to make Doom 2099 relevant again. Dormamu is a C tier. And it's not because you should be playing Dormammu, it's because you can get a 0-cost skill to move your Werewolf by Night around and help trigger Shloud. Regular Dormammu is not a thing you should be doing. If you want to play Destroy, do Headpool, Null, Death stuff. Don't do Dormammu. Just don't do it. Dragon Lord is a C tier card. It's like a good alternate or decent alternate like ramp tool here. I think it's probably better to have like a Cosmic Ghost Rider or like not cut your Legion for it. But you can pull down a Fin Fang Foom. You can pull down an Infinite, and when you do, it feels pretty great. Dragon of the Moon. This card is awful. Just unbelievably awful right now. There's been some buzz from one of KM Best's latest videos about this being it's a good Iron Patriot lane winner. It's a post Shloud nerfing. There might be something happening here. I'm not sold on it. I think I have not played that list yet. It's not my kind of list, Ronin stuff, but it's better than Ares though. Rearranging this Bullseye's no, overthinking this a little bit. Dragon the Moon's not great. If you're watching this immediately after the videos come out and you still have time to buy this on the Super Premium Season Pass, don't do it. This is just not great. I hope that there's a way out for Dragon of the Moon because it's a cool design. The variant we got in the Super Premium Season Pass is very cool, but not good. Elixir is like a D tier. Better than all these, but still D. Just the destroy adamantium infusions that you're like, adamantium infusion is a much better version of this. The like Kid Omega Nimrod stuff. There's just better things to be doing than elixiring. Like doing Phoenix Force stuff isn't great right now. Like if you want to be doing adamantium infusion fastball special style, like destroy resurrect, it's adamantium infusion fastball special. It's not elixir. It's not Phoenix Force. It's not the thing to do. Esme Cuckoo. Cuckoo is a D tier card. Just a negative support card that negative doesn't want and doesn't run. This is not great, but because it goes into Mr. Negative, which is a pretty solid deck, and if you do open her in a snap pack, you can make some stuff happen, but it's not an optimized part of Mr. Negative. Isan is also, I'll put him at the bottom of C because it's for an alternate ramp deck. It is not the best version of ramp. It's not even the second best version of ramp, but there is an alternate way to play it, which is fine. It's just not very good. Like doing the Valentina Iron Patriot created card stuff, pulling down with Isan, I like Hydro Manning stuff. I like that version, but it's just not the very best version. But it's still better than doing any of the D tier card stuff. Ezekiel Sims, another D tier card. Roughly here, I've barely put up this card. Like the move many list that Cougar and Iris have played a lot, that seems like the spot where you'd want Ezekiel Sims, and those lists absolutely do not want it. There is no deck that wants you to play Ezekiel Sims, but like maybe you could cope throw him into something. This is a bad card. Like I'd almost rather play Toxic than play Ezekiel Sims, honestly. Fallen One is an A tier card. Doing the Symbiote Spider-Man into Fallen One combo and then being able to play Man Spider and Taskmaster on the same turn is insane. It is very, very strong. It's not the greatest. It is very face up. You can get Cosmode. There's a lot of downside to it, but it is still a very strong play pattern. I think that deck's going to get a nice little boost with Star-Lord Master of the Sun that comes out, in a few hours. If you're watching this when this releases, could be cool. Fallen One, I love that deck. This is a fun deck to be playing. Phantom X is at the bottom of F in my heart, but realistically, it is a D tier card. It is like the top of D. No, it's like Phantom X, I think if you open up, like, if you're a newer player and you just happen to roll into like Wild Child and what's the other card that wants to be destroyed or discard? I honestly forget. If you open up into those, then like sure, that's fine. That's an okay thing to be doing. But if you have enough cards in your collection that you're just picking up Phantom X for whatever reason, this card's text is insane. The amount of hoops it wants you to jump through to like basically be Omega Sentinel is kind of nuts. It's ridiculous. Like there are so many other things you could be doing and probably should be doing than playing a card like this. Just not 100% worth it. Not 100% worth it. I'm just really thinking about Phantom X here. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. I'm gonna put Phantom X again. I'm talking about. This is tough. This is tough. I've also realized that I've mixed in. This is primarily Series 5 cards, but there's some Series 4. We're gonna let that go. This is a Series 5 tier list. But the Series 4 cards that snuck in, we're just gonna let them chill there. We're gonna let them chill there. Shh. For folks that made it in here, just throw a winky face in the comments. Yeah, Phantom X is a D tier card. I don't like Phantom X. Fastball Special, I think this is a Series 4 card, but it's worked its way into the list. This is top of B tier. Fastball Special and Adamantium Infusion go hand in hand with each other here, and I think they're good. I think this is a very strong pairing. It folds to Cosmo. It folds to Stardust sort of stuff. It's a tough thing to pull off, but I still think this is a very strong and fun thing to be doing. Fenris Wolf, this is a D tier card. This is bad. This is only slightly more bearable than like toxic stuff, but Shang-Chi is just not a real threat right now. There's just not really a thing that you should be doing that would necessitate you needing a Fenris Wolf. The change from 2-3 to 3-4 was like the last nail in the coffin for this card. That's probably good. I mean, I've played control lists with like Danger Fenris Wolf, and it's been pretty good, but like, no, this is not the time nor the place for that. Firehair. Firehair is a C tier card. If you want to do some of the like the Jet Phoenix Force Resurrection stuff, this card's pretty legit, but it's just not like being able to copy those on or copy the Zombie Giant Man a couple of times. It's pretty good, but it's just not the ideal thing to be doing. Fin Fang Foom is our first S tier card. Fin Fang Foom is Fin Fang-tastic. This card's text is basically 7/12. You win a lane a lot of the time. If you're playing against like, this is a tech against Man Spider stuff. If you're a ramp deck, like any deck that can afford to run this should be running it, except for Arishem. It's incredible. I've loved this card. It can play like a backup Man Spider in these Fallen One lists. It's just phenomenal. If this is the card of the month for January 2026. Frankie Rain Nova is like a C tier card, like better than. I'm gonna put her above Agamotto. You can do some cool stuff with her and like Maverick into playing some 6-drops to like make her like a 2/16 or a 2/12 or whatever it is. That's pretty cool, but you have to jump through. There's just cards that don't ask you to jump through as many hoops as she does. Frigga. V-Hand's kind of irrelevant, and the copy stuff with Linlia is yet to be fully proven. So Frigga's kind of like here. I mean, it's good copy. Copying stuff is always good. Like, and we'll have to see just like where we net out on Linlia. But for right now, just not incredible, but pretty good. Galacta. This is an F tier card. Top of F. Just the +2 is worthless. Like maybe an Arishem you could do something with her, maybe, but like. This is another card where it's like, I think the reason they're being so light on Shloud is that they're worried about making another Galacta, another Mr. Fantastic, first steps. You know, it gets a power nerf and becomes a relevant type thing. But yeah, 4/8 +2, not it. Galactus it's showing up in like an Airshim deck. I'm just not a believer in Galactus right now. I think it's like here. Yeah, like I'll put it in the middle of C tier. It's showing up in an Airshim list. You can do like the Cerebro where it buffs Galactus sort of thing, and it's fine, but it's not the greatest thing in the world. Galactus is just okay. Galactus First Steps is, I'll put him at the top of C tier. I think Fin Fang Foom kind of ate his lunch, but it's still like the second or third best, just like keyword big card. I like the side quest and pressure it puts on your opponent to like try to compete with its play location as you play down Galactus First Steps. But if you can pretty safely replace him with Foom in pretty much every list. Gilgamesh, this is F. Zoo is really, really bad. So Gilgamesh is your big Zoo payoff. So if the Zoo is in a bad place and your payoff is also in a bad place, sorry, I'm just like at a loss of words. There was a time in 2024 when this Gilgamesh Marvel Boy stuff was really, really strong, but that is not that era. Maybe someday, but that day is not today. Goliath, Black goes to Goliath's like bottom of B tier. Ongoing is a legitimate deck. It's just not at the zenith of its power right now. But Goliath is a very great scaler for that kind of list. You would need him to do any ongoing in any real capacity, and it's pretty solid. Gore is like here. Gore is like a C tier card, but like the bottom of C. There's just not a lot of, they're not making a lot of good on reveals. There's better activates. They're making a lot of skills. Gore is tiny, and for Gore to be good, it needs to be a 6. It needs to be like big. It's a 6 drop, and for a 6 drop, it needs to be good. It needs to be big. This could probably go to a 6-1 or a 6-2. Gwenpool is like a D. You just no, because Zombie Galacta is a thing. Look how quickly I might change my mind here. This is like a middle of the C. I'd rather play Zombie Galacta than regular Galactus, and Gwenpool is a big part of that. She has a deck. She has a deck, and that deck is Zombie Galacta, so I think she actually goes up to the top of C. As I'm looking at this, like, is she better just on the strength of Galacta? I think I have to put her in B. I'm gonna put her above Goliath, but that's it. Galacta is great. You hit Galacta 3 times, you play your cards right, and it feels pretty good. Hawkeye Kate Bishop, this is like a C tier card. I think Kate Bishop, this is maybe the most overrated card in the game. It's still good, but you do not want, and people are going to lie to you about this, and I'm joking a little bit here. Maybe they actually like it, but I don't want Grapple Arrow. I kind of do. I don't want pre-buff Ant-Man. I don't want Hawkeye. I don't want those other, I only want Acid Arrow. I would not put pre-buff Ant-Man and Hawkeye in my deck normally. Maybe I would put Grapple Arrow, but it's just I'd rather be playing skills. I'd rather be playing Prowler. I'd rather be playing Merlin. I don't want to clog up my board space with these useless 1-cost cards, and that's why I want Acid Arrow. Hawkeye is super overrated. You heard it here. Headpool is like a it's like a D tier card. Destroy is just not in a great spot, and this is kind of a build around card for Destroy. It's not like literal Deadpool, but this is an important piece of it. And yeah, it's just not, this is not the apex for Destroy, so it's not really worthwhile here. This is not a card you need to go out of your way to build around. It's just fine. Herbie's like here in C. Herbie's a C tier card. It goes to some activate stuff. It is not the best card in the world, but if you're doing activate surfer stuff, if you're doing, Aurora stuff, it's fine. Easy skippable card, but there are some mildly decent decks if you open them up. High Evolutionary. This is like a D. I'm put High Evo at top of D. Right now, as we're going into February, maybe Star-Lord cranks this list up a notch, but I don't think there's a lot of good reasons to be playing High Evo, even with the buffs to the vanilla cards. Like, There was a cool list that Cougar and Roram were playing where like it was high Evo Abomination doing Shloud like a mini afflict package. Oh, I've just put myself to sleep yawning thinking about High Evolutionary. Not great, but pretty all right. Hope Summers, this is a C tier card. She's the worst ramp card, but ramp's still pretty good. The heart of the cards, Shloud Surfer sort of list is pretty good, and that uses Hope. So that is a list I can think of that's good, but it's just not. She's the worst of the main ramp cards that are out right now. Hulkling, D tier. I'd rather play Hulkling than many of these. It's just like a big guy. There's just like Fang Foom. There's just better 6 drops to be playing than like, oh, I'm gonna high roll and get the Zola. It's like, now you're gonna get Apocalypse. It's just there's better big guy cards to be playing than this. Human Torch First Steps, F tier Human Torch First Steps. Just not great. Just there was the week when he came out was a beautiful week because I got to run Living Tribunal and like breeze up the infinite rank leaderboard. But this card is there's a zillion better things to be doing than Human Torch First Steps. Hydra Bob is like a C tier card. It's I mean Hawkeye's better than Dormamu. I'm just moving Hawkeye above Dormamu. I'll put a little respect on our name here. Even that Dormamu was kind of a breaking point because I think that card is very, very bad. Hydra Bob's fine. Sorry, talking Hydra Bob here. Talking about Hydra Bob. This card is fine. It's Aurora bait. It's great in limited time game modes. Sanctum, this is the MVP card. But if we're talking about regular ranked ladder play, Hydra Bob is just meh. Hydra Stomper, S tier. Think Fang Foom is better. The move many list that Iris popularized, Cougar won the Golden Gauntlet 3 with. Those lists are absolutely incredible. And Hydra Stomper, they work because of Hydra Stomper. They are your big ongoing scaler. Batroc is very strong, but you need to play him early. Hydra Stomper, you can sneak out on turn 6. You play Prowler and you ramp out 7 energy. You play Hydra Stomper plus Juggernaut. It feels incredible. I love those lists, and I love Hydra Stomper. Infinity Ultron, like bottom of D, like just terrible. His stone that doubles his power and the stone that creates the drone at his cost are both quite good, but his base power is very low for 5/6. That often doesn't make it worth it to do that. It's just not great. Just not a great thing to be doing right now. It's sad 'cause I think it's such a cool card, but just not good. Invisible Woman First Steps is a B tier card. I dislike that list, but it is still very good. I hope people don't start playing it again because the list I tend to like usually have difficulty playing against and like countering those lists. But the end of turn Jocasta stuff is still great. It's just not. It's not words. There's been better times for it. It is not the star of the show anymore. Iron Patriot. That is an A tier card. And put this right above Anti-Venom. This helps so many like tier 2 decks function and feel better. It does a lot of really cool stuff. This is, one of the best cards released in 2025 and is still strong today. Hopefully everybody has Iron Patriot. Jeff, F for Jeff. This card is unplayable. Just a horrible card right now. It used to be the most like omnipresent card in the game. But there are a zillion 2-drops I'd rather play than Jeff. But Bruce Banner is not one of them. Black Swan's better than both of them. Doing a little bit of adjustment here. Jim Hammond, another F. Horrible. Don't play Jim Hammond. Even Airstrom doesn't want this card. I like the concept quite a bit, but just never play Jim Hammond. Joaquin Torres. Joaquin Torres is an A tier card. The spell slinging stuff you can do, the different takes on bounce, like this makes Clea a more relevant card. Deafening Cording 2 targets, polymorphing 2 targets. Again, the Clea spells on 2 targets. There's moving your werewolf around 2 and like I think those decks are very fun and slept on. Ika has made some great strides in that space. Jocasta is like here. It's a B tier card. I think Activate is very strong, but it is just you play a Jocasta down, you are begging someone not to interact with you. You're begging them not to play Cosmic Ghost Rider, begging them not to play Deafening Chord, like even Juggernaut, or sometimes like there's so many ways to screw up a Jocasta location. You're just saying, pretty, please don't interact with me. And if they don't interact with you, they're in trouble. But then it's also like, oh, they've got a Jocasta and a Prodigy hooked up into that Jocasta. I'm going to dip. So, doesn't have great cube equity, but it is a very cool deck. Kahori F. Don't get this card. I'd rather play... that about makes sense. Kahori's terrible. Don't get Kahori. Kang is also horrible. I'd rather have his old effect back. But I'd rather play Kang before I played a lot of these cards. Just not worth it. Khonshu's like a C. It's right. Kind of put this near Colonel America here. Discard just being a points package that doesn't get to run tech because it's so focused on needing to do its thing. Kind of puts it in a poor position, but you know, you could still be doing worse stuff. There are worse cards in the game, but Khonshu, not great. Kid Omega is like a top of C tier. Ironically, even though it like goes hand in hand with fastball special adamantium infusion stuff, I would much rather be doing Man Spider stuff with adamantium infusion fastball special than I would be doing Kid Omega Black Panther Nimrod. That being said, Kid Omega Black Panther Nimrod is a very legitimate approach you can take with the deck. Just not the best. Linley Iron Fist. I have not played with this card enough or like at all post buff, so I don't know. So I'm going to put it at the top of C tier because when I played with this card, even on release, I thought it was very good. And talking with Iris and Cougar, who are, you know, much better players than me, they were both pretty down on him. But like, if you are a fan of the Hydra Stomper move many list that tries to win one location with points and the Juggernaut, I think Linley is a very legitimate card to pick up, add to your collection because it's another alternate way to fit that like condition of, oh, I've won with points in this spot and to steal with Juggernaut. I think now that he's buffed, you can do that a little bit more. There's some potential there, but I'm just not 100% sold on it yet. Luna Snow, S tier. This is maybe the best ramp card. I guess Fallen 1 stuff's pretty good, but like there's just so like it's great in ramp, it's great in Manspire. The 3/6 body's fantastic. I wonder if this deserves to go back down to a 3/5. I love Luna Snow though. I think she's excellent, and I love the Man Spider and even some of the ramp lists she goes into. Very cool card. It has a nice trade-off with giving your opponent extra energy, but it just says, hey, I'm building my deck around this, so I'm not scared of what you're doing. Bring it on. Lockheed is in the C tier as well. Lockheed got a lot of hype at the beginning of the season, but he was just riding Shloud's coattails. This is not a fantastic card. Not a card you need to pick up, but you can do some one-cost spell slinging stuff with better cards like Joaquin Torres. Is Joaquin Torres an A tier card as we're talking about this? I don't know. I feel like, yeah, he's a B. I'm moving him down. Fastball special adamantium infusion is a better combo piece than the Joaquin Torres, even though he is great. Madam Web is a B tier card right now. Human Torch move isn't incredible, but you can the buff to Topaz maybe open some stuff up to get back the more traditional move list. Not 100% certain, but there might be a way out for Madam Web. I would love for that kind of a list to be good again, if not totally dominant. I love having lists where it's I win one location with points, steal another with Juggernaut. I like that, so I like Madam Web. Majestic Wingbeats Series 4. It's snuck in here. We're gonna call this a Series 5 tier list. I'm gonna keep the ones that got in there before I realized what was happening in there. Deafening Chord, has earned, I think, Fastball Special Series 4 too. The Series 4 that made it in here, we're just going to leave them on there out of respect, but this is a Series 5 tier list. Makari, D tier. Cerebro 3 is a fine card. I guess there's spins in Zombie Galacta that use it, but you don't need Makari. Malekith is going to hang out with his other Afflict buddies in D tier. Maybe a little bit better. Malekith is an Afflict card. You don't need to play this card, really. There was that, like, Honifer, very teched out version with, like, I think there was this and an Anti-Venom that was big in December that was kind of cool, but you don't need Malekith. Man Spider, S tier. This card is insane. If you want a go tall deck, if you want to have the biggest numbers on a card, on a single card without needing to stack a zillion things, Man Spider is your way to do it. This card absolutely rips. It is super vulnerable to tech in terms of Shang-Chi or the more omnipresent Shadow King, now that we've left the dominant Shloud meta where Shadow King was just totally irrelevant. This card freaking rips, and I love it. I think it has the fact that it's so flimsy to tech is a good trade-off, but if you want to make points go big, Man Spider and his buddy Fang Foom are the way to do it. Marvel Boy F. I feel like we got to move Gilgamesh down too, because Zoo is just unplayable right now. I feel like I'd honestly rather mess around with Doom 2099 because Moondragon's coming out. That's at least something where they're trying to give support to that. There's no Zoo support. Zoo is like the most cooked archetype in the game right now. So Marvel Boy is a Zoo card only, and therefore it's not great. Maverick, even at 3-2, this is an S tier card. This goes with Man Spider stuff. This goes with Shloud stuff. This goes with the move Shloud stuff. Maverick is a freaking incredible card. Shloud unfortunately pushed him into like tier 0 territory and got the evil eye on him there. And yeah, it's unfortunate, but Maverick is still just an incredible card to own even post nerf. Merlin, even with his nerfs, this is one of the very best cards in the game. I'm going to put him like over here because he's been nerfed twice now, so he's not. The fact that Omniversal doesn't give +2 now is a pretty legitimate hit, even though he's had it coming. But that doesn't change the fact that he still isn't as great as he was when he was a 2-3 with Omniversal +2. Still incredible, but he is not just the absolute menace that was skirting under the radar for so long that he was, for as long as he was. Misery is like a C tier card because the V-Hand isn't great anymore. Yeah, I'll put Misery like there. This is a card without a home. Like, yeah, you can do mill stuff, but then like we're doing mill stuff. What the heck are we even thinking? Get a different card other than Misery. Mockingbird. It's kind of, this is another C tier card. I like playing Erisham Thanos stuff, and Mockingbird is a good part of that. That deck is not. It's a good reactive tech deck. Mockingbird is the points package spike in that, but it's still not incredible. Moira X, man, there's a lot of just C tier cards here. Moira X is like, maybe this is a D tier. I'd rather play Moira than I would play Headpool because there's some cool. I'm going to put Moira at the bottom of C. I think the fact that you can get multiple deaths, multiple nulls, you have a good surprise factor makes Moira a decent card. It is just not a supreme card, and there's a lot of other better stuff to be doing. Moonstone. Moonstone's a B tier card. Moonstone is a B tier card. It goes in the ongoing list. It can go in the copy stuff list. It makes your Captain Carter and Goliath just insane. You play a Captain Carter and a Moonstone a location, and that opponent's got to give up on that location. Sometimes you can just play Captain Carter and Moonstone and be winning that location, and then let your opponent give up on that and just play nothing else in there. Do a little mental mind game. Moonstone's great. You can't play ongoing without her, and ongoing is a legitimate deck. Maybe it's not the greatest deck in the world. Maybe it's not the S tier of the meta, but still a respectable one at that. Morgan Le Fay, Morgan Le No, Morgan Le F for Morgan Le Fay. I hate this card. This is an F tier card. I'm sorry. There are some people who love this stuff. People say, oh, it's better than that. Just the hoop she's asking you to jump through to get the +2, like, is just not worth it. Do not play Morgan Le Fay. Mr. Fantastic, F for Mr. Fantastic. This is why they're taking such a light hand to Shloud right now. because they don't want to do what they did with Mr. Fantastic, where it was one for his season pass month. He was literally everywhere. Every deck ran it. It was the best card in the game. They changed it. They brought up its cost, and it's like, oh, this is unplayable now. So I don't know what they want to do. If they want to buff this card and bring another thing like that back, it was such a it was even more ubiquitous than Shloud was, honestly, because it like you didn't have to build your deck around this. You wanted extra power and cost reduction. It was a card you can play down on 2. It was like even better Merlin, but now it is just totally irrelevant. Nomura is a D tier card. Just the whole like buffing a single card in a location is not what it used to be. This is not something you really need to be doing. And it's not, yeah, I think I'm just laughing at myself here. This is not something you need to be doing. Nico Minoru is an A tier card. There's not a ton of decks that really run her right now, but this is an ultimate toolbox sort of card. I want to put her here towards the bottom of A, honestly. This is like Merlin at home in a lot of ways. Like they were building Merlin. Like Merlin feels like such a cleaner evolution of Nico, but Nico is still great. You can, if you want to do Destroy, you do Nico. If you want to do just like, if you are missing a card in a deck, that's like a 1-drop, like Shloud likes Nico. And oftentimes if you're just missing a card that's a 1-drop, you can kind of safely bring Nico into the mix and it's going to do decent enough. Nightmare is a D tier card. This is not a good card. Nightmare is a D. What would I'd rather play? Yeah, just doing the whole Sauron thing. I'm not a big Sauron guy. Sorry, Zenaid, if you're watching this. And like Nightmare is the way out for Sauron, and just like the variance on top of those cards is not just getting the one in whatever the odds are. Infinite turning into Galactus just isn't worth it to me for the roll with that. Maybe he's better as the 3/2. Like, could we get a little buff for Nightmare? Maybe. Nocturne F for Nocturne. I would rather play. Yeah, I'd rather play her than Bruce. That's not saying a lot. It's crazy what knocking off that point of power did to her. I think we could probably give it back to her, but just like free rolling the location change, Merlin kind of took over that role significantly better. Penny Parker is an A tier card. I love being able to say that because Penny Parker is a huge part of what makes Man Spider work. And Man Spider is one of the best decks in the game right now. There's not a lot of lists that she goes in, but like if you want to do Man Spider stuff efficiently, you want Penny Parker. Prodigy, S tier. Prodigy is what props up stuff like Jocasta. S tier right now? No. This is my reflexes here. I see Prodigy, I think S tier, but like honestly, this is like I would still put him in. No, this is B. This is better than Jocasta, but like, yeah, you can like copy the Maverick. Like he's great in the Heart of the Cards Shao Surfer list, but like there's not a lot. Like activate stuff's a little bit rough because of Deafening Core. You're not seeing that. Like maybe it comes back this month, but this is an evergreen card. Like there's times where this card is cleanly S tier, but right now it is not at the top of its game. But even when I'm saying like, oh, it's not great, it's still a B tier. That's a strong ass card. Prowler. This is an A tier card. I think the really good versions of the Move Many list with Hydra Stomper, like Prowler, you can do Werewolf by Night spell slinging stuff with Prowler and Joaquin Torres. I love Prowler. It's a pet card of mine. In my heart, this card is S tier, but you could take him out and do like a thing first step sort of thing in that list. But this is not the greatest card in the world. It's not S tier, even though in my heart it is. Proxima Midnight is like D. I'm just going to throw Proxima at the bottom of D tier here. It's just not, that kind of discard isn't great. Like, it just isn't. Red Guardian is like a C, but it's like a low C. I know I said earlier that like, oh, Red Guardian kind of does CGR's job better than it, but I don't think that's accurate. I think it's like a low D or low C. It's fine, but I'd rather play Deafening Chord. Like that's the actual thing. Like Cosmic Ghost Rider at least hits both cards in the front regardless. You can just say, oh, they're going to try to copy the Manspire with Zola. I'm going to get rid of its tech so it can't go double again. And like maybe it's only 14 power at that time, so it actually stops it. But yeah, what's it called? Red Guardian is just not it. Red Hulk, F. You don't want to. This is a big guy that's got an extremely power crept. And if it's your only option, it's okay, but you should not be getting this. Red Wing. Played this card like once or twice on. I don't think this is a card that wants you to jump through a lot of hoops. Sorry, Roram. You are great with this card, but this is not a card for the vast majority of players in Infinite or out of it that they should be investing in. Rocketing Groot, even with its lovely little Christmas outfit, this is like a D tier card. Just its whole afflict package and moving once just doesn't quite do enough. Sage. Ugh. Sage is like, I'll put her at the top of C. You can do some cool stuff with like the Bast Agent Venom list or like the Phoenix Force list where you're reviving Sage or Cassandra Nova. I think Sage is a very fun card. Maybe even like doing a weird version of negative, but it's just, as I've been saying with many of these C tier cards, there's better stuff to be doing. Sam Wilson, S for Sam Wilson, Captain America. You can't play ongoing without this. This is a key piece of the Move Many list. This makes so, even Activate Surfer likes having this, even though Activate Surfer is not really that much of a deck. Its presence in ongoing, its presence in the Move Many list, doing the Linley copy stuff, the Ancient One list that I was talking about earlier from Roram. Sam Wilson is such a good buy, and he's a key part of key decks, especially and chiefly the Move Many list, which might be the best like mid-rangey points package in the game. Scrowit Spider. The verdict's still out post Shloud nerf, but I think Scrowit Spider is just running rampant right now. I'm going to put him at the bottom of S tier because I don't think that deck is as strong as it was. I mean, that is non-controvertible, me saying that, because it lost a good chunk of points. But it's still great. This is still we're at the end of Scrowit Spider's moment. It's like Margot Robbie in 2016. Scrowit Spider's running through its moment, you know? Scorn goes, you know what? Scorn is like, where's Bullseye? It's better than Proxima Bullseye stuff. Scorn is at the bottom of C tier because like it's decent for discard if you're doing. Where is our boy Colonel America? I'm gonna keep these three together here. That sort of discard is fine. Scorn's better than Colonel America though. It makes that sort of discard work, but like, do you want to make that sort of discard work? Is that what you should be doing right now in this metagame Marvel Snap? I'm going to say probably not. But you know what? If you have it, if you want to build a discard deck, Scorn makes it feel very strong. Scream is just not... Scream's having a little bit of a resurgence right now, but just like you're better off doing the Iris, Cougar, Move Many style list than you are doing Scream stuff. It's just super duper... not worth it. We're not in a Shang-Chi meta. We don't need to worry about like blanking opponents' cards and like blanking Shang-Chi sort of stuff. That's when Scream was really, really something. And right now it really, really is not. Cersei, F. I'd rather play so many cards other than Cersei. I think Cersei would be way better as a skill card. No, I'm not talking about polymorph. I've already gotten that joke. If she was like a 4, like a 0, obviously gets a skill, like a 4-cost skill card, she'd be better. The problem with Cersei is she wants you to maximize. You want to maximize the value of her by playing her into a full location, but then you've just totally locked yourself out. Unless you are high rolling, that location is cooked. And if you're playing her on 5, you're doing the worst possible thing imaginable in Marvel Snap. You are letting your opponent know, here's my exact point output on this location. Now they know, can they beat it or are they done? That's the worst thing you can do in the game. Literally the worst thing. And Cersei just makes that part of her kit. Don't play Cersei. Shang-Chi, Master of the Rings. This card is bad. Bad. I'm going to put him at like the bottom of C tier. I think the decks he goes into, like I'd rather, like the Wiccan stuff is not great. The Wiccan stuff's not good. Him being in the Spellslinger list though, that is a deck I'd rather play over Phantom X, over Nightmare, over Afflict, over any of the stuff in F tier. So he gets to be bottom of C. Shloud the Undying. S. Even with his nerfs, this card is incredible. They didn't nerf him enough. That's really all there is to say. They're going to change up stuff so people can't free roll Spider-Ham and run a bunch of annoying tech. They made Deafening Chord worse, or honorary Series 4 card appearance in here. But yeah, one of the best cards they've released in a long, long time. Silver Sable. Oh, Silver Sable. I just feel like nothing about this card. Don't play Bounce. Don't play Afflict. This is like, because it's a 1-drop, it's a little better, but like I guess like a D tier card, you don't need Silver Sable. Sparky might be able to have a little bit of a moment with the potential of Move coming back. I want to put Sparky at the top of, or no, it's not at the top of C tier. I'd rather be playing a lot of these other cards than Sparky. It's better than Anya, for sure. Anya probably needs to go down here. Anya more like there. But if Human Torch move stuff gets to be good again at any point, Sparky will probably be a part of that deck. Speed is just fine. Speed is like, I lost speed. Speed is like here. Like there, I guess. Like if you're playing Wiccan stuff, please reconsider what you're doing. But it can go okay, the ongoing stuff. It is just an okay card. It's the most like lukewarm water card we have. Spider-Man Noir. Ooh, this pains me. But I think Spider-Man Noir is like worse than Shang-Chi Master of the Rings. They kind of occupy a similar space. But like when he goes off, it's fun. But just like the deck building considerations he wants you to employ are not worth doing, unfortunately. Spider-Punk. Spider-Punk is an A tier card. Great piece of the Move Many list, which I think is extremely strong right now. I think we bring Captain Carter down to B and move Fastball Special Adamantium Infusion up to A. I think Fastball Special Series 4. We're letting it in. It snuck past the rules. This is what you get in the Kicker Revolves channel. You get wild Series 5 tier lists that have Series 4 cards in them in a little bit. Expand your mentalities with that one. I don't know what I'm on about. I'm tired, but I love talking about this stuff. Yeah. Spider-Punk. Spider-Punk's what we were talking about. Spider-Punk rocks. His built-in move is awesome. If you get to move him around with Madam Web or Hellion stuff, it can feel excellent. He can play for like a 3/15 sometimes. Really fun card. Starbrand. It's a D tier card. You only play him in Nightmare, and Nightmare's not great. It's just not good. You need like Nightmare, Enchantress, Sauron, Supergiant stuff, and that is not the meta that we're in right now. Stardust is good. Stardust is like a B tier card. I'll put him at like here. It's a tech card, like where like obviously there's stuff where like, oh, if you play Shang-Chi and doesn't have 10 cost cards, it does nothing. Like it's the same sort of thing. Like at least with like Shadow King and Deafening Chord, turning off the text, or like there's always going to be some amount of green power you're reducing, even if there's not a huge swing. Stardust just as like a plain 4/6, just playing a worse version of the thing. There's not like the stuff it shuts down completely. But when you're drawing into it in a matchup where it doesn't work, it's just like, ah, crap. What am I doing here? Strange Supreme is a D tier card. I'm guessing like here, like maybe if there's some Airsham stuff to be done, we could do some Strange Supreme stuff, but this is not the era for the Strange Supreme. Superior Spider-Man is better than Hope Summers. It's a better ramp card than that. That much we can be confident in saying. I've lost Hope Summers. It's not better than Jocasta. It's not a B tier card. I would rather be doing Linde stuff. I'd rather be doing Galactus first. I'd rather play Cosmic Ghost Rider. I guess it's like here because you can do it in ongoing. Rorum's got a cool Professor X list that uses it. I literally, like, I don't know if I'm blind. I cannot see where Hope Summers is on this list, but in my heart of hearts, it should be above Hope Summers. So I wonder if I've actually done that. I think I have. There's Hope Summers. Okay, I found her. Yeah, this is about right. That's about right for Superior Spider-Man. Surge. Surge is a good card. It's not a great card. Copycat's too high. Copycat's like here. Yeah, I'd rather play Sparky and do Human Torch stuff. Sorry, Surge is good. It just doesn't like that tempo-y, like, oh, I'm going to maximize my cost reductions with this sort of thing is good, not great. That's all I got to say about Surge. Surtur D tier. Surtur wants Nightmare Starbrand sort of stuff, and it's not good to be doing that. I'm glad Surtur isn't great. Symbiote Spider-Man. It's got one list, but its one list is insane with Fallen One, where you can just get to 13 energy, where you have that plus Luna Snow, or just that going to turn 6 naturally. It's one list, but that list is strong and is going to get more support with the release of Star-Lord, Master of the Sun. So I will give him A tier. There you go, Symbiote Spider-Man. Thanos. Thanos is a C tier card. Like here, they need to do something about Thanos. They need to re-envision this card because it is called Marvel Snap. It is the Thanos Snap. If this was 2018, you'd want Thanos to be great. It's not 2018. It's almost 10 years later after Infinity War came out, which is crazy to say. Just the time passing meme, the sad Pepe. But yeah, I loved Thanos. This is one of my all-time favorites if we're looking at the whole history of Snap, but they need to do something for him. Thanos, as he's inevitable, but he's only inevitable if they change him up. Right now, he's in C tier, which means there's just better things to be doing. Athena. Athena's part of one deck, and the end of turn deck is good, but I'd rather play a lot of stuff before I played that. So I guess here. If you're going to play end of turn, you want Athena, Invisible Woman, Havoc, but maybe you don't want to play end of turn right now. Thing for steps is I'm going to put him at top of C. I don't like this card. Iris is built different the way she plays, and he's a key piece of that list. I have not sat down and become a thing for steps gamer. Maybe that day will come. Maybe it won't. Toxin. Yeah, if you're a bounce cat, if you're Doc Guapo and you want to do some great bouncing stuff, you play this, but bounce is not amazing unless you're one-tricking it. Thunderbolt Ross, F. I would rather try to make Zoo work than play Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. This is the worst, maybe the worst card in the game. U.S. Agent can probably go to +4 again. I'd rather play a lot of cards before I tried to play U.S. Agent. D tier. Victoria Hand is C. Put her at the top of C tier. I hope people don't realize that she's still a tier 2 good deck, because I don't want to see Victoria Hand ever again. I'm done with her. Make her a 3 cost. Completely nuke her from orbit, even though her play rate probably doesn't justify doing so at this point. That is how down I am on Victoria Hand, even though she's just all right. Viv Vision. Viv Vision's a decent C tier card. She's got a deck, but she's not. Oh yeah, she's going down. She's going down. She was good in the Spellslinger deck with Clea before Shang-Chi Master of the Rings came out. But I kind of think Shang-Chi is a worse version of Clea. If you can draw into Shang-Chi Master of the Rings, it's going to do a better job in the Clea list than Viv Vision. But Shang-Chi is already making your draw harder, and it's he's predicated on being good at like, yeah, if you can draw Shang-Chi, and then like the card text himself makes it harder to draw into it. So not great. War Machine. War Machine makes ramp a thing. War Machine lets you play Infinite plus Ebony Maw on turn 6. War Machine is phenomenal. The War Machine buff along with Chamber's Relief is what makes Chamber ramp a thing. Getting to be able to play Fang Foom and counter Man Spider stuff is phenomenal, and nothing else to really say. He gives you some fun location scams too. It's great. Love War Machine. Warlock's like a D tier card. Maybe high Evo stuff makes this card good. There was that high Evo deck going around last month that was like okay, but I don't think Warlock is really worth your time. Just unfortunately, they should make this card a 3/5, like for sure. Weapon H is gonna go with his other discard buddies in like that C tier cluster. It's fine. I'm not a big discard gamer. When I picked him up, this is at the beginning of like my, content creator resolve. I'm going to start picking up every single Series 5 card to give more informed reviews and just be aware of what's going on to help folks like you watching it know what's up. Weapon H is fine. Just again, discard is not in the place it needs to be at the top of the game. White Widow F. This card is unplayable. The fact that it destroys itself when you fill a location, just they should rework this card. This is a card they don't want to be good. They shouldn't have a card that has this text in there. Wiccan. Wiccan's like a C tier card. It's fine. We're just not in like a very... Wiccan had its time, and Wiccan is often emblematic of like tech sloppy, Eliath, old Shang-Chi sort of stuff, and we're out of that. We're out of that metagame. The new Shang-Chi was like a good boost for it. But even then, like the best decks for Shang-Chi are like the Spellslinger list. It's not even doing Wiccan stuff. I don't mind that Wiccan's not great. Zorn, D tier. What the hell is even... This is a bad card. I don't want to play Zorn. I would rather play Topaz, Madam Web. There are just better ways to move card. This should be a 2/4 card. If you want to play move, don't play Zorn. There's better ways to do it. Zombie Captain Marvel, F tier. Very bad. There's just, as a 4-cost activate, there just needs to be something more that you can do. And it's already inflexible. It doesn't have enough power. I don't know how... There's a lot of levers and like knobs to twist on this to make it better. But I don't know if you want the Captain Marvel style text of like, oh, this moves to a location that like could win you the game sort of thing is something they want to be very good. And sorry, checking my mic. Based on that, I think this is probably where it needs to be. I think that is probably fine. Like, this is... I don't know for Zombie Captain Marvel. Part of me wishes it was good because it's a cool card and concept here, but no thank you. Zombie Galacta, I can't believe I'm doing this. This is an S tier card. This is a great combo piece. It is so much more reliable to build around. You don't need magic. I forget who made that list that's going around right now. But the popular Zombie Galacti list, when in the last episode of Marvel Snap Meta Shenanigans, it was the top win rate deck, an infinite for collection level 24,000 plus for decks that have more than 1,000 games. There's plenty of sample size data for it. This card slaps right now. This is totally a good build around card. And if you told me that 2 months ago, I would have laughed in your face. But lo and behold, here we are. Zombie Mr. Fantastic. Kind of a janky card, good with like Aurora, but like the zombie decks don't want to play it, so I'm just going to put him here. Zombie Scarlet Witch, last but not least here. This is the central piece of the zombie package, but the zombie package isn't great right now. And yeah, that's it. Not going to go crazy ordering within the tiers here. This is roughly in the right place. This is where I feel right now. I think that, let's look up top here. Yeah, I think this is just about right. It's crazy that we're at this point. I think the Man Spider, Fang Foom stuff is just You need to have an answer for that. It is so easy to make this go over the top. It's such a clear snap and retreat condition. There's ways to juke around with like, am I going to Taskmaster it? Am I going to Zola it? Am I going to Adamantium Infusion Fastball Special it? Am I not going to even give you a chance to do any of that because I'm not going to play it until turn 6. I'm doing follow-on Symbiote Spider-Man stuff. This list, followed by the Hydra Stomper move many list, and then some of the Shloud and then ramp list and Zombie Galacti are perfectly represented as being these cards in the S tier. All very flexible, all incredible stuff. And if you want more hard-hitting deck guides, meta reports, card reviews that understand the value of tokens in your account, hit that subscribe button. We have been going for almost an hour and 10 minutes on this video. I really appreciate y'all sticking around. Like the video, comment. Do you agree? Do you disagree with my rankings here? Should I have brought more Series 4 cards in or just totally cut them out and not let them slip through the cracks here? Let me know. I'm Kicker of Elves. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.